Hey, it's Evan. Welcome back to another episode of the Mindful 8 podcast. In today's episode, we're talking about the frequency of source. The frequency of source is unconditional love. I heard this not too recently, and it really resonated with me because I'm all about operating at a certain frequency each and every single day of my life, and I encourage you to do the same. This universe is energy. Everything is energy. Where your attention goes, energy will flow. When you have a conversation with somebody, it's a simple exchange of energy. When you understand that this world is a constant battle for energy, the great spiritual war, you start to see that operating at a certain frequency each day is really important. The frequency of source, of God, the creator, infinite intelligence, etc., whatever name that you give to a higher being, a higher calling, the frequency that it operates at is unconditional love. I made a video on this just yesterday. Why it really resonated with me, this frequency, is because I'm all about remembering the birth vision. I say it many times over, and I affirm that you're never going to get bored of me talking about it because it's so important to remember your birth vision. I'm always questioning the universe, God. Why was I born to my mother and my father? Even though I knew the life that I was going to be growing up into. And when I understood that the frequency of source is unconditional love, something clicked in my mind. My mother, of the many things that she's taught me, one thing stands out in particular. She was the one who taught me unconditional love. There's a journaling technique that I use and that I teach upon called the EP42 journal. And there's many things that go into the production and creation of this journal, but one thing that stands out in the beginning, when you start a new journal, when you start a new EP42 journal, you dedicate the journal to someone or something. This can be your mother, your father, a friend. It can be your higher self. It can be a future that you are embodying and living towards. It can be whatever. The first EP42 journal that I ever created, I dedicated to my mother. And in the beginning of the journal, I said, to the one person who taught me about unconditional love, my mother. So when I heard the frequency of source is unconditional love, everything made sense to me. It is that infinite love. Shout out Zach Quintos on that one. That's the frequency to operate at every single day. The moment your eyes open up in the morning, it's thank you, God. Thank you, universe, for giving me another day. I love you. Because that's a simple affirmation that you love yourself. The unconditional part of love is that no matter what you go through, right? No matter what life throws your way, what the universe puts in front of you, you stay in a positive state. You have that unconditional love that you understand is for a reason, right? And you are getting a positive benefit out of it, right? It can be something simple like, now I know what I don't want, or now I know what I do want. In any situation, the unconditional part about this love, this frequency of source, is everything happens for a reason. there are no conditions where I'm going to stop loving. I'm going to love regardless, unconditionally. Nothing is going to affect my love that I have for each day that I go about. The frequency of source is unconditional love. It's beautiful, so beautiful. Everything is love. God is everywhere. God is love. And every single time you're affirming, I love you, you're saying that right back to yourself. Remember the abundance thinking. As above, so below. Giving is receiving. So every single time that you're affirming, I love you, or I am, that's literally just going right back towards you. So if you're operating at that frequency of unconditional love, what do you think you're going to get back in life? Unconditional love. It's such a simple thing to understand and to act upon. Giving is receiving. The more money you give, the more money you'll receive. The more love you give, the more love you receive. The more unconditional love you give, the more unconditional love you will receive. Because you're operating at that frequency. And you're not letting anything affect your state. The frequency and vibration you're operating at. Because it's unconditional. Nothing can bring you down. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it made me realize even more that I'm remembering the birth vision, because I'm intentionally doing the work every single day to remember the birth vision. That's the important part about all of this, is because I'm operating at this frequency of unconditional love, the synchronicities are falling in place, and I'm remembering the birth vision, and I'm seeing the world vision come to life, and understanding how I play a part in it. That's one of the cool parts about it. The frequency of source is unconditional love. Without further ado, I love you. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you have any questions about this at all, whatsoever, unconditional love, frequency, vibration, energy, etc., send me a message on Instagram at Evan Senior. Let's have a great conversation. Go about your days, spreading love. I love you dearly. Thank you for listening. Peace.